Spokenly, I haven't thought about flying for a long time. I haven't dreamed of that moment when I was alone above the clouds for a long time. I've dreamed of waking up in a room surrounded in blue and green grass for more years than I could dream of remembering. I haven't walked back into the past or scratched on the doors of my origins, where it all came from, since I held up that cape for the last time.
Return to Cape Town 10th Year Anniversary Edition is a revised version of Andy N's first poetry book. The book can be purchased from Amazon and it contains numerous additional material.
Spokenly. Hi, it's Andy N from Spoken Label. Thank you today for streaming or downloading another episode of Spoken Label. Spoken Label was originally set up on beginning of 2016 and as of speaking has currently nearly 300 sessions. The full archive is available on Spoken Label bandcamp.com. Although it is available for free for stream and download if you wish, I am always grateful for any sort of kind of donation to enable me to keep the running costs of this podcast going. And enjoy. Take care. Bye bye. Spoken Label.
Hi guys, Andy N, Spoken Label, back in the house on a rather windy Wednesday evening. The country we're in, heading over to today, features a dear friend of both mine and Amanda's. And I've known this lady for a few years now, but it's been a few years since she's been on Spoken Label, and she's as busy as me and Amanda are. Now, I'm going to let the lady introduce herself, but she's a wonderful lady and so supportive and helpful. Alta, for people who don't know you, obviously, you want to tell people which part of South Africa you're from and look a bit about yourself as a writer.
Right, thanks. Hi, Andy. I'm Alta H Mabin, and I'm from South Africa, Johannesburg. At the moment, it's very hot.
It always is over there, isn't it?
Mostly. I said that very sarcastically. It's mostly hot. So I'm the editor and publisher of Poets Unlimited magazine. It's a poetry magazine where writers from all over the world come together, and every month I just collaborate everything, put it together, and publish it. That's going to be 2 years now, and a haiku for your soul, which is completely for not just haiku, but also micro poems, a loon, your cinquains, tanka, anything to do with, when you have to count the syllables more than just a free verse. And and then I publish a few of my own books. And I do podcasts as well. I interview for causes. One which is very, very dear to my heart at the moment is a lady called Hina Alana. And I've just published her book, Chattering Mind. And it's a beautiful story. She's a teacher from Singapore. And I might tear up here, but she's a teacher from Singapore, and she was basically on a Zoom meetings teaching teachers in Pakistan how to teach students how to write creative writing and how to use English words, and then these teachers would go and teach like another group of teachers, and they would teach more students, and on and on and on. And she's brought out this book, Chattering Mind, and all the proceeds are going to be able to put a book together from all these students, all these children, that's written these most amazing poems. And the aim is to be able at the end of the project for us to ship a copy to each one of those students.
Oh, fantastic.
So that's like my big project that I'm working on at the moment. And I have helped publish a few writers. Charles Hafner, he's done Orchids Under the Stars, Four Colors of My Life, and If Love Was a Rose. And then Kim Brake from Canada, she's just published her book, this journey of mine, and it's her journey through her recovery from breast cancer, and it's all written in the form of haiku, which is
tremendous,
incredible. And she's a photographer as well, so every haiku is matched with a photograph that she took and then wrote this haiku to. So it's beautiful.
Wow.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Wow.
So yeah,
Wow.
so that's kind of where I'm at the moment.
Yep.
And you know, I don't always want money. I do a lot of the publishing just purely because I want that writer to just hold their first book. You know,
Yeah.
it's always been my dream to just help wherever I can.
Oh yeah, that's what I love about you, Alta, and that's probably why people are wondering. Obviously, we first met. Was it about 3? It was way before lockdown, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like, I think it was 2018.
Yeah, I reckon it was that. And yeah, and it's like you've done so much over time, and it's honestly, you're a perfect example of people that, in my mind, I want to help people out all the time. Now, obviously, we've touched on the bits and you've told us on your overview. Now, obviously, let's go backtrack a little bit here. Now, obviously, like when we last chatted, I know Poets Unlimited obviously have been running for a few months. And obviously in March, when I think this goes out probably just after this will be, you were celebrating your 2-year anniversary of this magazine. Now, I want to talk about that and Haiku for the Soul, but we'll do Haiku for the Soul in a few moments. But obviously, with Poets Unlimited, how has this magazine changed and developed over the last, say, 18 months for you?
Oh my goodness. Well, and then to give a commitment that there will be an issue every single month. And it at the time, it was very exciting. It still is very exciting every single month. But to understand that when someone sends you a submission, they trust that you would take that and do something beautiful for them. Then it no longer is about you. It's not your magazine. It's their words. And I honor that. And it is very, very, how can I put it? Like when someone sends a submission for the very first time and they don't put a bio or they don't put a photo or there's something missing in it, you know, the back and forth takes a lot of your time. And I think right in the beginning, I wasn't very clear, you know, I need this and this and this and this. I wasn't very clear. When I get an email, it's like, wow, everything's there, you know, because I have done the marketing, I have done the conversations, I've had the different dialogues to say, this is what I require. So it's made it easier. And honestly, if I have to say, look back a year ago to what Poets Unlimited is right now, it's vastly different. There's some writers like yourself that's been with me from issue 1, and some have sort of skipped a month and then come back for another 2 months and then skip a month, and that's okay with me. And it is honestly for me to also, when someone brings out a new book, whether I've published them or they've published through them, you know, themselves, I put them in a spotlight. I give them a little bit of marketing space on there. You know, it's just a page. It's just my time. And I honestly, when I first started, I envisioned it to be, oh, you know, it won't keep me that busy, but it literally does. I wouldn't change it for anything. I wouldn't stop it for anything, because it's honestly changed people in how they thought about their writing. You know, because when I get feedback from somebody saying, oh, page 15, this writer, oh my gosh, I love that. And I go back to them and I say, well, this is the feedback I got from your poem. And it just inspires them to write more and to do more. And most of these people that I've helped to publish their own books came from the magazine, from a submission.
Fantastic.
So that's always been the goal, is to create more writers. And that is honestly what it's done. It's honestly what it's done.
Yeah. Now, people obviously, the more observant people on Spoken Label will notice I've had several, I call them alters girls sometimes come on board, like obviously the lovely Dina over in Israel's one that springs to mind. I know there is others, and I forgot the names of them.
And Layla, you had Layla as well.
Layla as well, yeah.
And from California.
Two completely. That was fun because. And obviously, but I hope both girls listen to this. But if they're interested, I think you need to chat to them both.
Yeah, well, Layla's brought out her second book now.
Oh,
so you may want to. Yes, you may want to have another chat with her.
I'll speak to her.
She brought out a book of haiku.
Oh, has she? I didn't know that one.
Yeah.
Oh wow, you don't because like she's really into Layla because and this is general talk.
Oh, she's lovely.
I've got a copy of her first book, and her poems are great stuff, longer poems. And jump from longer poems like that into haiku, that's completely different.
Yes.
Know that.
So haiku, she did one. It's called Serenade of the Ocean. So it's haiku about the ocean.
Oh wow! I love it. I'll drop a message. I'll get a book in again. Love chapter again. Yes. Great fun. Now, obviously, I want to talk about you. Obviously, more today, but like it's some good. But obviously, like. You must make me smile then, as you said, like your magazine of Poets Unlimited. It takes up so much of your time. And you're like, I found it amazing. In fact, you started a second magazine off about what haiku for the soul. Now,
I know.
The obvious question is, first of all, why haiku for the soul? And then secondly, you can answer it in progression. What made you want to have two magazines going at once?
Okay. So Poets Unlimited was always really there for writers to connect with each other as well. So what I loved seeing is when there was a new writer coming to the magazine, I would suddenly see that everybody starts following that writer on social media and they all support each other. And that's really that's what that did. And I love that part. There's so much support for each other in that magazine. Haiku for Your Soul. As you know, haiku has been my first love. Sorry to the guy who thought he was my first love, but haiku has always been my first love, and I'm absolutely besotted with Japan and Japanese traditions and sakura, the cherry blossoms and anything Japanese. So that was really the reason I wanted something to leave behind for when I'm no longer there. There would be a Haiku Soul magazine, because I also did a collaboration of a paperback with a few writers, if I can mention them.
Please do.
RJ Tungsten, Charles Hafner, Rashri Napani, Karen A. Winnering, Vivian Chopolis, and Jacopo Rubini. And what we did is we collaborated, and it was all haiku, renga, and tanka. And I've put it all into one book. And that was really the drive from the magazine to the paperback. And then from the paperback, it evolved into two of these writers that in fact three that was in this collaborated book. I have helped them publish their own first haiku book. So Haiku for Your Soul is really just it's a simple magazine. There's no clutter. It's a little bit of information of what is a tanka, what is a haiku, a little bit of tradition, and then just the actual haiku poems. And that does take less of my time, I must say. That takes, poets take like 90% of my time, and Haiku for Your Soul is like 10% of it. So, but it gets that exposure to those writers. And at the last page of that magazine, which I've only changed about 2 or 3 months ago, whenever someone brings out a new haiku book, I actually give them a little space to say, you can go buy a copy of this book. So it's a little bit of an advertising tool for those writers as well.
Ooh, I'll bear that in mind next time I do my next haiku book, because I've got one in mind.
I've got both my thumbs, holding both my thumbs already for 2 years, Andy.
Yeah, I've done two. The last one I did last April. So I did my haiku of life. So I've got a third one in mind, and it'll be out this year. So anyhow, listen, move on. Now, obviously, what's made me smile there is they said that takes up 100% of your time, but it doesn't, does it? Because you've been telling me already. You've been helping lots of other writers develop, haven't you? So,
well, you know what? That I can actually multitask so beautifully now. When they say women can multitask, it's an understatement. We so can. But also, what I do is I schedule my days. So like the first and the last week is very busy with the magazines, and then in between is for publishing, taking manuscripts and things like that. So I manage my time better now than what I did right in the beginning. So if I take on a publishing thing, I could say, I will look at it now, but I can only start with it in a week because I'm busy with the magazines, so it's all about focusing on different things. And as you know, I focus on like 5 different projects at the same time because my chaotic mind works like that. I have to have that chaos of working on different things, because for me, someone actually asked me, I think 2 or 3 days ago, they said, how do you do it? How do you go from helping somebody with a book and then you go and you write your own collection? How do you do that? And I'm like, I'm always writing. I could be in the car and I'll think of something and I can't text, so I'll voice note something and I just thought about this, and then I get home and I'm like, oh, that was rubbish, and I start again.
Yeah.
So I'm always writing. I'm always thinking. You and I spoke about all our notebooks. And
God, yeah.
I could auction off like 100 notebooks at a time because I fill them so quickly. I can't buy a diary because I fill it before the month is over. The first month is over. I buy notebooks.
Wow, no, that's great. That when I get my haiku phase, and I'll be back to it soon, I do a lot of mine nowadays on like post-it notes in work, and I'm coming home and just stacking them all up when I've got about a lot wrote and go and start picking the best ones out. I know what you mean. Now, you have talked about us in a roundabout way already, but I want to learn more about, obviously, because I know you're writing tankers now as well, and a loon as well. So tell us about then how your tankers differ for you in style to your haikus, and then we'll do your looms as well.
Okay, so like I said to you earlier on, the loon really started because I did a prompt on Instagram, and I so loved it. It's like 535, and I was so amazed at how easy it was and how difficult it was at the same time, because the second line is only 3 syllables, but it's American haiku, and you should try it and then you'll understand. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's wonderful. And then you go to haiku, and there's a lot more rules. So you got to think a little bit more, and you can't just blah blah blah. You got to think a little bit more. So I got lazy. I must admit, I got lazy with haiku because I've done so many haiku in the last 2 years. So I wanted to try something else. And then tanka is just an extension, as you know. So it's your 575 and it tells a better story. It gives a bigger image, and it leaves you with an emotion. That's what tanka does. So when I'm reading to you just now, I will do one haiku and then I'll do a tanka for you so that you can actually see that.
Definitely. Look, you'll be hearing this in a few minutes' time. I love Alta's work. Yeah. Now, obviously, I want to ask you obviously start winding down the chat bit, because obviously I always like asking people. This may take half an hour on you, Alta, but what plans do you have coming up next then? Is there anything you can reveal? What you've got in mind?
Okay, so with some of it, I might want to be a little bit sneaky. So I will be traveling soon. I am working on the Giving Tree project, which is something that's going to consume a lot of my time in the next few months. I am working on another loon collection, and yeah, go figure. And I'm bringing out a 4th book for Charles Huffner. And I'm sure he wouldn't mind me saying this, but it is called A Bouquet of Poems.
Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely. It's gorgeous. That.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And next project, I wanted to start that 3rd magazine, but that was a bad idea. For the moment, no other biggies. I think I want to concentrate on helping more people that, you know what it's like going on Amazon and trying to get through KDP, and it's very daunting. So I just want to help someone do their 1st book and take their hand and guide them through it, and then the 2nd book they'll do themselves. That's really what I'm about, to empower somebody to say, I've done this on my own. So I think that's really the biggest. That's my passion. And for me, it's a soul reward. I think I've told you that before. It's a soul reward to have those tears with that person when they realize they've just published a book, and then they receive the copy, and it's more tears, and I'm like, oh my God, just stop now, because it's beautiful. It is beautiful. And I think I am so desperately worried that people would just stop writing, and then what are we leaving behind? And honestly, if I'm asked what is my next project, it's just to write and keep on writing, and to encourage others to never stop writing, ever stop writing.
Brilliant, I agree. Same for me. That's why I love the beauty of this podcast. It shows to people there's so many writers like myself, because I'm sure you'd agree with this one, Alta. Is like, I think there's a myth about writing where it's a solitary, lonely process.
Yeah,
I don't think it is, but
I don't think so either. I have, and I mean, if you just think of the 2 of you, Amanda and yourself, and the 3 of us have spoken. We don't speak every day, but when we do, gosh, we chatter and chatter and chatter, and that's a connection through writing.
Straight away.
All the people in our lives are genuinely because of our writing.
Yeah, it's got definitely right with that one, and that's
so
what
we're not lonely. We're busy. We're not lonely. We're busy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, it's like and I cannot. I've got a new manager in my day job at the moment, Alta, and I shocked him recently by telling him how busy I am outside work with my creativity. but anyway, that's a story for another day. Right? Okay, Alta. To conclude the first part, then. If people want to find out more about you, where do you recommend they go?
I think at the moment, the easiest would be Instagram, Facebook, the obvious places that people go. And it's just Alta H Mabin. And my website, www.altahmabin.co.za. I think that's the easiest. Or go and connect with you, and they'll find me somewhere.
Oh, they can find
Amanda.
People can't find you, Walter. Come through me, and I'll pass you over. No problem. We've done that to each other several times now. So
we have, haven't we?
Yeah, and I don't know.
And you've actually sent a few writers my way as well. That's contributed to the magazines.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
So we help each other.
One of the madams talking about starting to write again, so I'll be putting him in touch again if it happens, right?
Good.
But I know he's doing a law degree at the moment, so his priorities are a bit different. So
that's a bit busy.
Yeah, I think we all are, aren't we, in one way or another? So
I know.
Anyway, what we'll do, we'll wrap up part 1, Alta. I'll pause the recording, and when we come back over in a few minutes, Alta's kind of bamboozle you and make you all fall in love with her writing. So see you all in a minute.
Okay, cool.
Spoken label.
Hi guys. Yes, I'm still here with the wonderful Alta, and she's going to do a few pieces for us. Over to you, my wonderful friend.
Thank you, Andy. Okay, so first I'm going to do a haiku, and this is from Hope Within Syllables. Grey, dark skies above, speckled azure of hope now, because you live there.
Oh, that's beautiful. It's beautiful. Was that one like you were writing on the way home then from work, for example? Was it the day job?
No.
Oh.
This one, remember this, Hope Within Syllables was basically a haiku narrative of my life. So,
right.
Yeah, so that was about a loved one that passed away. And when I talk about the azure sky, the skies above, there's hope there because you live there now.
Right, I get you now.
Yeah.
I knew there was. I got the grieving side of it. I wasn't sure whether it was on the
Yes.
journey after it. That's why. So that's why. But it's beautiful. Your haikus are so vivid. That's for sure with it. So
Thank you.
okay.
Okay, and then this one is a tanka. Thoughts and memories. As the bright night light expands, I await the moon. Through paths of pink sakura, voice echoes forevermore.
Ooh, that was beautiful as well. Now I'm not going to put my foot in my mouth on that one then, so I'll let you tell us the inspiration on that one.
Okay, so some translation. Sakura is Japanese for cherry blossoms. And what else can I say about those? So it's basically like thinking, and then the bright night light expands. So you're waiting for the night, you're looking at the night sky, and then it's I await the moon. So I basically question, I'm standing there, I'm like looking at the moon, and then through paths of pink sakura. So it's like a metaphor of the beautiful things that happens in our lives, and the voices echoes forevermore, like all the beautiful things that happens, the pretty things, the things that we don't need to cry about, they just echo inside of us forever.
Oh God, yeah, beautifully stated that one, Alta, definitely. So now I've forgotten what we said before, and this is how inefficient I am. Do you say you wanted to do a few more, did you, or were we going to stick to 2 today? I can't remember what you said now.
Okay, I'll do, okay, let me do one from a haiku soul, the collaboration one that I was speaking about earlier on. And I'm going to do, let me find it. This one, like I said, it was a collaborated. I can't say that word sometimes. It's so weird. Collaborated. Okay, so this one was the very first haiku, or let me put it this way, the very first poem I ever received from Charles R. Hafner.
Oh.
And it went straight into this book. I begged him, please, begged him. Okay, so you will notice the word sakura in here again, because everybody that knows me knows that if you want my attention, you say sakura or cherry blossoms. Then I've got that's it. You have my attention. Okay, so this one was written by Charles R. Hafner. And okay, here goes. Stills of sakura, beautiful colored blossoms, treasures of Japan.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Can you see that whole imagery?
Oh, wow, that is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, when I read his stuff, whether it's a haiku or, he's very good with tanka, I must tell you that. But whether it's a tanka or a cinquain or a sonnet, I literally just want to throw my pen down or like crash my laptop and say, that's it, I'm not writing again. Because his mind is incredible. You can give him a prompt, you can like say, Charles, write something about a daffodil. And 2 minutes later, he'll send it to you. And it will be like, what? Yeah.
That is absolutely gorgeous.
He's like that poet on demand. He's like that poet on demand. like snappy, let's go.
No, that was
Yeah.
gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous, Alta. Got to say that. I think it's a great way of finishing off today, that, my friend. Definitely so. So thank you today, Alta. It's been brilliant. Now, the stuff we cannot mention yet, but what Alta will be back on Spoken Label soon. Our date to be confirmed. And I know she's going to have news that I can't reveal yet. So watch your space.
You are the keeper of my secrets at this stage.
Yes, definitely. So you were back on. We'll get you back on later on this year, maybe beginning of next year, all being well, and when you can give people your big news then. So, but in the meantime, Alta, thank you again, my friend. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you so much.
Hang around as always, Alta.
You too. Blessings to you and Amanda.
Yeah, and thank you again as always. Hang around, I need to put you off the microphone. But this is Andy N signing out. And as Don Callis says, stay safe and stay open.
Spoken Label.